What's going on, folks? It's Bob. That's Ray. We are back with another episode of the Split Personalities podcast, hosted by the twins, Bob and Ray. Twins who are now entering their late 30s, got bored with their lives, and they're doing what most hacks do. We started a podcast. So we've followed a pattern throughout our history, a short history here with Split Personalities, where we've gone from film to TV to video game, I think in that order, and
to one live event.
To one live event, maybe some to come in the future.
Yeah. We got to just kind of find the right events.
Let's quickly plug here. We've got our Split Personalities swag here. I've got Bob's rocking the crew neck and the hat. Ray's not really a hat guy. Ray's not a hat guy. He's just wearing the crew neck. But we got some T-shirts. We've got crew necks. We've got a hat. If you want to hit us up for any merch,
we got T-shirts. We got crew necks. We got hat.
we got hat. If you want to hit us up for any any swag, we're not we don't have a formal website yet. We're not that kind of operation just yet. We're just getting this off the ground here. But you can always direct message us on Instagram. That's the easiest way to get a hold of us, is to just direct message us on Instagram. But like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That one's been driving a lot of content for us. Instagram, we're posting there our shorts and our reels. But if you want the full length episodes, go to YouTube, go to Spotify. Like and subscribe to your YouTube channel. And if you want to be a real one, donate to the Split Personalities podcast.
For real.
Become the realest of the real ones.
Sure. And
be a Patreon subscriber. Monthly donations to our channel. You'll get our love and devotion. If you can't do that, if you can't do the monthly thing, we accept one-time donations through our PayPal account. Links can be found in our bio on Instagram or in the descriptions on our YouTube channel. Seek it out, support us, keep us going. This isn't our 9 to 5. Someday, maybe, if we're talented enough, if you think we're talented enough.
If you like Cleveland Twins.
If you like twins who are talking about niche things, then, we're your guys.
Yeah.
There we go. And if you are in the Cleveland area and you would like us to come to your event and make your event dope as hell.
Memorable.
Like we did, just talk to the people at the Cleveland Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
They'll tell you. They'll vouch for us.
Yeah. That's how it became number one.
Yes. We will come to your event, especially if you're a brewery in the Cleveland area. We will come to your event and make it the most memorable event around. As long as we can also interview people there and get and shoot film and get content.
Yeah. Throw us a couple good drinks, play some good music.
There you go.
Good
drinks, good music. We'll be there. So today we are actually approaching a topic that I feel like is even of the niche is niche, which
pretty
is
much like where video games were like the video game we did last week, Legacy Kane, was very niche in that genre. I feel like this movie, definitely cult classic for sure.
Yes. This is the cultiest of classics.
But I do wonder how many people actually have seen this movie.
I went and watched some YouTube retrospectives, and based on the feedback of those, I'm like, this seems like a movie that is very much in the... you have to really seek it out nowadays to find it.
Who showed us this movie? I feel like we watched it way too young. First of all, this movie came out in 94.
Just to get the name of the movie out there so that you're not all hanging on pins and needles. We're talking about Leon. Well, there are different names to this, and I feel like for the U.S. audience, it was The Professional, but then it came out with maybe a Criterion Classics where it was a Leon the Professional.
Leon. Yeah, I always know it as maybe. I feel like years ago I used to just call it The Professional, but now I always refer to it as Leon.
Yeah, so this you might, if you're aware of the film,
director's cut or something.
If you're really aware of the film, you call it Leon the Professional, but it's The Professional. It is a film. It's the very first film that actually the famous U.S. actress Natalie Portman ever starred in.
Yes.
Natalie Portman as a young 11-year-old girl was cast for the role.
How old is she in the film? I feel like she's either 12,
she's 11,
depicted as 12 or 13.
Yes, she's a 12-year-old girl in the film. Around there. But at the time in which the movie was casting, she was 11 years old. She had done some like small parts before that, like for commercials, I think, but she had never been in a feature-length film.
No, I mean she's a main player in this film.
Yeah, I mean she's the main character in the film. Matilda is her character, the young girl whose family is tragically murdered. But a young Natalie Portman stars in this film. It's her first feature-length film, which she is like a pro. I mean, it's like you would not know that by watching this movie. And then the French actor Jean Reno is in this film, playing an Italian American, essentially like off the boat Italian American.
Yeah, he's a French actor, right?
French actor, but he like felt like he had the chops to like pretend to have like an Italian.
I wouldn't really know, honestly, from the movie.
It was also apparently a French movie.
Was it?
It was filmed for an international audience too. There are actually scenes in the movie. I remember this too. There are scenes of the movie that are cut out for the U.S. audience that are kept in for the international audience.
Was it filmed? But
most of the film was filmed in Paris.
Ah, interesting.
But it is shot as if it were in New York City.
Yeah.
Now the interior scenes. Now this makes sense to me because the apartments are so like small in scale, but the interior scenes of the film are filmed mostly in Paris, and they do some exterior shots in New York City.
But the film was released to Paris audiences or like international audience. Was in?
I feel like it was initially released to an international audience. I don't know. Natalie Portman, I don't think spoke fluent French, so maybe
no, because like it feels like it was very much made like an American movie where everyone spoke English, and then if it were like
it got
international,
adapted to it. Dubbed. It got adapted to an American audience. I'm going to be honest here. I'm going a lot off memory of this movie because I didn't have a lot of time to deep dive into this topic. But part of my deep dive into the topic was the fact that it was shot for both an international audience and a U.S. based audience. So most of the filming is done in Paris in the interior scenes of the film, and then the exterior shots are obviously shot in New York because the basis of the movie is in New York City.
Right.
Now, obviously, I assume that's both for the U.S. and international audience, that it was based, the setting of the movie is based in New York.
Right.
Other notable actors in the film besides Jean Reno and Natalie Portman. So Jean Reno plays the hitman that we know as Leon, and Natalie Portman plays the young girl whose family's tragically murdered. Her name's Matilda. The other notable actor is a young Gary Oldman, who plays the corrupt DEA agent.
Honestly, one of the best villains ever in any movie.
He is so disturbing in this film. Yeah. Honestly, from the very first scene.
It feels so weird because it feels like both he and Natalie Portman, like after this movie, kind of like disappeared for a while. I don't want to say like disappeared, but like I hadn't seen them in anything.
I watched some interviews of Gary Oldman, and like, not that his wife was going to leave him, but like Gary Oldman was really hard up on life. Like, Gary Oldman, I feel like, had a strong beginning to his acting career and a really low midpoint until he like hit Harry Potter, and then like he like blew up again.
And like Batman,
Harry Potter, like
early-ish 2000s.
Yeah, so like early 2000s, he like blew up again as an actor, but
it's funny with like Natalie Portman though, like. I feel like the next time I ever saw her was as, I don't want to say as an extra, but like she had like a one-off scene in the Zoolander movie.
Oh,
remember Zoolander?
interesting.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, Natalie Portman.
Like the,
and then it's like
the
Star
first
Wars.
one or the second one?
The first one. We were like there in the very beginning of the Zoolander movie. They're talking about like, oh, Derek Zoolander, and it's like they have her like on screen for like a couple seconds. They get celebrities talking about Derek Zoolander, and she's like part of that.
She was so young when she became
she was
so
still
famous.
Young in the Zoolander thing. Like,
and in the original Star Wars trilogy, she's super young. She was like what, 15, 16?
Maybe, yeah.
Anyways, those are the most. I mean, there are some faces that you recognize throughout the film that you probably have seen in other movies, and I'm thinking of like the Italian mob boss who hires the hitman.
Yeah, the guy
He
who
seems
owns the restaurant.
he seems. I can't place him right.
He's like the kind of guy you see in like mobster movies.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's some other faces that you see throughout the movie. You're like, okay, you've probably located them in other film, but the most three notable stars are. And to be honest with you, Jean Reno, that was his first American film. The thing I remember him the most after that was the Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie. To be honest, and then I feel like he's been in other things. He was obviously, if you're a gamer, he was in Onimusha 3.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? Jean Reno, yeah. Shout out to Jean Reno. Onimusha 3, classic. It redeemed the Onimusha series. Honestly, we might have to talk about that game. But Onimusha 2 was a complete disaster, and Onimusha 3 brought it back from the depths of despair. But shout out to Jean Reno for that. But he was great in that game. But he's also great in this film. And it's hard to place this film. Obviously, most people refer to it as a cult classic, which it is. But it's hard to place because usually when you try to describe a film to another person, you say, oh, do you like this film or do you like that film? You know, it's like, oh, if you like Ghostbusters, you might like, I don't know.
I had to come up with an example.
Yeah, example. Think of one. What's Shaun of the Dead? Like if you like,
no, if you like Ghostbusters, you might like Field of Dreams.
There you go, because there's a ghost in it. Yeah. And famously, baseball exists in both universes. I don't know. Not really.
It'd be funny, like in the middle of the movie, the Ghostbusters come driving into the cornfield.
They suck them through. They like suck them up into the machine.
Yeah, coming through the cornfield.
Yeah, but I was like, if you like Ghostbusters, which is like a horror comedy, like you might like Shaun of the Dead. Like it's like I can't even think of another movie. It's like. Leon the Professional is in my mind, is a one of one.
1-on-1, yeah, for sure.
There is no film that's really like it. The combination of the music and the characters and the plot and honestly, it's also very risque in the fact that you're casting a young 12. The character is 12 years old, 12 to 13 years old. Natalie Portman, who actually ends up falling in love with the hitman. That is sort of her pseudo father figure, but also lover. You know?
I feel like I've seen, and I don't know if this is in Leon the Professional, but like there are some scenes that are definitely removed from the movie,
right?
That were added back in, I think,
any scene that included her like killing somebody. Like I think there were scenes in which she might actually commit a hit.
Yeah, I think there was a scene where she might commit a hit, and then there was also a very like uncomfortable restaurant scene,
right?
Where like I feel like in the American version that was released, like it was always hinted at. I mean, that was uncomfortable enough that like she was very much into. She's like depicted as 12 or 13 in the movie, and she's very much into this hitman. She is like literally trying to hit on him.
Yeah,
and like,
well, I will say even the scenes that are included in the U.S. version, like. The scene where they play this game of dress up, which is a midpoint in the movie to break the monotony of what's going on, of like the training of being a hitman. She wants to break the monotony up by playing a game. She says, let's play a game. And so they do a dress up game where they each have to dress up like a character in American history and using only the clothes that are in the apartment and get the other person to guess who they are. And the first two characters that she does are very risque kind of female figures. Right. In like Madonna, like a virgin, and then she does a Marilyn Monroe, Manson, Marilyn Monroe, Happy Birthday, Mr. President, like scene in which like she's very much a young 12 to 13-year-old, like kind of like uncomfortably sexualized, in front of this elderly man, like this older man. And so, like, there is that aspect of the movie which made it hard, I think, for maybe why it's a cult classic, made it hard for a U.S. audience to really get into the movie, where it's like this young girl has this very gray relationship to this man. Yeah. Who has saved her, right? He has saved her life, but she expresses these interests in him, which are very uncomfortable for the audience.
Yeah, he doesn't like engage in kind, obviously.
No,
obviously,
he
but
treats her very much like a daughter figure throughout the movie.
For sure. It's just like I think that in the one scene that was definitely removed. Well, there are scenes that I remember too seeing later on in a different version.
Maybe that's
where
when
she's like killing people.
Yeah, maybe that's when Leon, the professional, came in. Like there might have been an uncut version that was released.
But there's one like restaurant scene or something. I think she was even drinking in the restaurant, like or depicted as drinking.
Oh yeah, I feel like.
And it's like
it's almost like a Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, that I can definitely see why this scene was removed because she's like, okay, like that was one step too far.
Yeah.
Again, like Leon's character is never depicted as like showing any interest in her. It's just like she's like very much in love with him.
Natalie Portman in interview, I actually like dug up an old interview with Jean Reno and Natalie Portman when this movie was being released to a U.S. audience, and like Natalie Portman as a young girl was very clear that her parents were like, no that scene, no this scene, like her parents had a say in what like. I'm sure that she didn't share on camera other scenes that were cut, but like she referenced smoking and cursing. Right. But I'm sure that they had a role to play in like, no, we're not gonna have this innuendo or that innuendo, you know?
Yeah. Do we want to get? What do we want to talk about here? Do we want to get into the plot of it?
Well, so like let's start. Like I will say, so the beginning of the movie, right? The beginning of the movie has these sort of it's very 90s, early 2000s, where it's like overhead scenes of the city. It's almost like a drone is flying through the city, you know, and capturing.
Kind of feels like almost like, you know, the opening of Teenage Mutant Turtles where they're like doing shots of the city.
Yeah.
It feels very similar
it's
to
like
that.
Cityscape
but
shots.
More artistic in a way.
So the movie opens up with a sort of like trope of the big city shots. Like, right? Like it's a overhead shot of New York City. It's like nowadays you could imagine a drone flying through the streets and taking these shots, but it was probably like a zip line camera or something at the time in which they did it in the 90s. But the opening shots of the cityscape, and it keeps goes from wider to narrower, and we get to a Italian restaurant, and we are in Little Italy, New York City, and of course we are in the presence of a Italian, what is implied is this Italian mob boss who is having a conversation with his hitman, who is Leon, who is supposed to be an Italian born immigrated to America, cannot read, you know, like his only skill here is to be a hitman, you know. We learn later on that this mob boss saved him from the streets, essentially, and took him in and raised him and to make him useful, made him into a hitman. And this guy does regular work for Mauricio. Is his name Mauricio? I think the first guy in the movie who has a problem with the drug dealer is Mauricio.
Oh, the bad guy? Okay, yeah.
So like the opening scene, like he has to call the drug dealer who is coming in on the territory, has to call Mauricio to say sorry, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we never see this character, right?
We never see Mauricio.
Okay, I don't know.
But I cannot remember the name of the Italian mob boss who employs the hitman.
Tony, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yes, Tony. Yeah, we'll just call him Tony. I think it is Tony, which is a great trope here. Anyways, Tony, the mob boss, is giving a job to Leon, the hitman, and you see, like, there are interesting quirks that they give the hitman to humanize him. Like, instead of being a drunk, he drinks like milk.
I looked into this. Like, I never. Honestly, it's so weird because I've never looked into the symbolism of the movie. I think the milk was really like the fact that he gives Matilda milk all the time, like makes him a parental figure.
Right. Okay. I mean, he's drinking it before he even like really is aware of her.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that was like when I was watching like a retrospective or someone breaking down the movie like on YouTube, like they're talking about like, you know, his relationship to giving like constantly giving her milk.
I think there are just interesting quirks that are given to the hitman to make him human rather than like if you think about his employment, right? his employment, his entire reason for living is to kill other human beings, right? So the one thing that humanizes him is he kills bad people, right? Like throughout the movie, he's constantly seen as killing like crooks or other like drug dealers or whatever. And so he's employed to kill other bad people. So that's one thing. The drinking of the milk is another thing, like little silly quirk of him. It's like, oh, it's a hitman who drinks glasses of milk. Like, you know, it's this sort of silly thing that, again,
I think it's a 90s thing too. Remember, like, I feel like we grew up in the 90s.
It humanizes him. I guess
our parents always made us drink milk.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was like the thing, like, make your bones grow strong.
Calcium, right? I don't know. But he also he's really into old musicals. Like he goes and sees like old films.
Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain. He loves John Wayne movies. Like he loves these like sort of old altruistic kind of like figures and these wholesome like old cinema. And then he like loves to take care of plants. Because he doesn't have connections to humans, so plants are easier to him. So, anyways, there's 4 examples. There are these little quirks that are given to him to humanize him, because his employment really is like a dehumanizing thing. It's
outside of like his employment, he almost seems like childlike in a way. Like,
he is very childlike.
Watching him watch the Singing in the Rain movie, you like just seeing him like watch that movie in the movie theater, he's like looking
wide-eyed,
amazing. He's just looking around if anyone else is like
it's like his mouth is agape, like he's watching it like with this childlike wonder.
Childlike,
but there are some dark times in this. Like even though he says no women, no children, which is his famous saying about like he will kill, but he will not ever kill a woman or child. He almost goes against that in the first scene. I'm not going to jump to that yet, but like there is a moment in the movie where he almost goes against that rule of his. So and there's another humanizing aspect of him. Even though he's a hitman, he has rules. There are rules in which is a code of ethics for him that he abides by. So the movie starts off, he's getting a mission from Tony. And he goes, and there's a guy coming on Mauricio's turf who is coming into the New York scene, selling cocaine, basically. Yeah. I mean, what we see him with is cocaine. And so the whole point of the scene is to show how skilled of a tactician and killer that Leon is. Is he infiltrates the complex, the apartment, the hotel that they're in. He infiltrates it. He kills this whole group of henchmen and gets in. And that opening scene ends with him, like the guy with the Uzi and the phone and backing up, and he's backing up in the room, and there's this little cutout of a shadow behind him, and as soon as he backs him into the shadow, you see an arm come out of the shadow with a knife, and it comes up against him. And he has to hang up the phone. He tries to call the police. He hangs up on the police, and he's just there. But the imagery is excellent, where you don't even really see the hitman. All you see is the guy with the Uzi and the phone backing up into the shadow, and out of the shadow comes this arm with a knife. And the assassin comes forward, and we do see his face. He's got his famous like circular sunglasses on, and his beanie on, and he basically kills all of the guy's henchmen, and then tells this guy, "Hey, you got to get out of New York." Maurice, he has him dial a number. He's like, "Dial this number." The guy dials this number. It's Mauricio on the other end of the line. "I don't want to see your fat fucking face in the rest of in the city ever again."
Right.
The hitman has to be like, "Do you understand what was just said to you?" He does. And just like the arm came out of the shadows to get the knife up on his neck,
just slowly
you see him slowly come out. Like it's almost as you hit reverse in the movie, and it's that scene replayed where instead of the arm coming out and the knife coming up against his neck, it's released, and he dives back in the shadows. He disappears. He's like Batman, right? He disappears back in the shadows. It's like watching Christian Bale play Batman, basically. And he retreats back into the shadow. So that scene is really the big action scene. It's one of the few action scenes we get in the movie because despite this being a movie about a hitman, there's not a lot of action scenes that happen throughout this film. It's a lot of story.
The one big one at the beginning, one big one at the end, and just kind of like some sprinkled here and there.
Yeah. So then like we go from that scene to him going back to his apartment complex in which Natalie Portman's character lives also. And her family has gotten, mostly her dad, unbeknownst to her, we see Natalie Portman on the staircase smoking a cigarette, which a little girl should not be doing. So she's a rambunctious, young girl. And the hitman's coming up the stairs, and he's walking back to his apartment, and they kind of know each other, but
they have like a little exchange. I think he's like, what's he like? He's like, you shouldn't be smoking, probably.
Yeah, something like that. He makes some commentary.
But in that like little interaction, he notices a bruise around her eye. So obviously she's a abused child. He
basically sees a bruise on her eye, and he asks how she got that, and she turns away and says, she had an excuse right away. I fell off my bike.
Yeah.
Which we all know like what's happening because we see a few minutes later her dad's slapping her in the face.
Yeah.
So we know that it's an abusive, like,
which I don't think it's her actual dad.
It's her actual dad. So this is the weird thing that I don't entirely understand. So she lives with her dad because like when she's running for help, she's saying "Daddy, Daddy."
No, that's her sister. Our sister.
No. But her dad is her sister's biological dad. Her mom, the woman in the apartment, is not her biological mom.
Okay, I guess I never made that connection. I didn't think that was her dad.
Okay, so the only reason I think this is because when after a tragic scene, Jean Reno is asking her why she's upset, and she's like, "I'm not upset about my dad. He deserved it. I'm not upset about my mom. It wasn't even my actual mom. I'm not upset about my sister. It wasn't my actual sister." But she mentions her brother, who she's actually upset about dying, and he was only 4 years old. So like the only thing that I don't understand is her brother, because I would assume if her older sister is her stepsister, wouldn't her but then that's her stepmom. I don't really understand how her brother is her biological brother.
Don't really understand the family dynamic. I don't think you're really meant to.
No.
I don't think their family is that important because they're like that.
So anyways, we'll get to that. The hitman comes and finds Natalie Portman, right? And Natalie Portman's dangling her legs over the railing of the staircase. It's a spiraling staircase up into their apartments. And the hitman comes up. He's walking to his apartment. He notices that she has a bruise in her eye. She excuses it away as if like she fell off her bike. And meanwhile, while all that's going on, the dirty cops are in her parents' apartment, talking to the dad.
I guess you see her dad having exchange with some guy. I don't think you really know at the time that he's a dirty cop.
Yeah, you don't know at the time, but and it's not Gary Oldman at the time. He talks to another dirty cop who is like, hey. And what you find out is that Natalie Portman's dad has been hiding drugs for these dirty cops. He's been given a stack of
like selling them.
Basically,
too?
Well, he's been given a stack. What happens is he was given a stack of cocaine, right? And at the time in which he was given this cocaine, it was 100% purity. And what they find out is when they come to collect it, it's 90% purity. So this guy, Natalie Portman's dad, has cut out 10% of the cocaine, unbeknownst to them, until they find it out.
Which was a common thing, right? That happened back then.
Yeah, and so whatever. Like Natalie Portman's dad in the film plays it off as, I don't know where that 10% went. Like I've just been holding these drugs for you.
He's like, you guys figure it out.
You figure it out. Yada yada. The real memorable moment in that scene is the cop he's talking to says, hey, like, if you're bullshitting me, I'm going to talk to Stan, and Stan's going to sniff this out. And he's like, don't make me talk to Stan. And there's this eerie moment where he goes like, I didn't cut your drugs. And so he's like, all right. And so he goes to talk to Gary Oldman's character, and he's like,
Stansfield?
Stansfield. Stan, and they call him Stan for short. Stan, Stan. And he's even perturbed to be bothering him. He's like, Stansfield, Gary Oldman's character, has headphones and is listening to music, classical music. And he has this moment where he's like, don't make me bother him. And the guy's like, I didn't cut your drugs. And he's like, all right, Stan has a way of sniffing this out. And so he goes to Stansfield, and even the cop is scared to talk to this guy. And he's
it's very like clear, like everyone who knows this character is
afraid of him. Yeah. And this guy's a DEA agent, right? And a dirty cop. And what we come to find. And he's scared to disturb him while he's listening to his music. And he says, Stan. And Gary Oldman removes his headphones. He's like, he says he didn't cut the drugs. And he has this slow turn.
Even when he turns around, he has this weird look on his face. So like you come to find, like, I feel like his character is like essentially like always high.
Yeah, yes.
But he's also incredibly dangerous, which makes him even more dangerous.
I mean, he pointed a gun at an old woman.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll get to that very quickly.
So basically, Gary Oldman's character, the first time you see him on camera, his face, he has this slow turnaround after being disturbed, going like this. And he's got this like doped out look on his face saying, and like he goes and like this guy said, Stan has a way of sniffing this out. And Gary Oldman's character actually goes and sniffs this guy. He goes in.
Which I heard like might have been like a little bit improv.
I bet you it was.
On Gary Oldman's part.
Because he does, the everyone was an improv moment too. Mm-hmm. And Gary Oldman's character, the first time you see him on camera, he does this slow turnaround and it's so disturbing. And he's got this look on his face like this guy's fucked up, you know, like, or crazy. Mm-hmm. He's either fucked up or crazy or both. Right. And he literally goes up and after this guy's like, after his partner's like, he has a way of sniffing this out. He literally goes up and sniffs this guy and he goes and grabs him by the face and he says, of course he didn't cut the drugs. Like of course he didn't. But find out who did, you know. You have till noon tomorrow.
He says tomorrow, noon.
So it's an extremely disturbing scene where it's like, oh my God, this guy's nuts. You know. Yeah. Now we don't know, and
we don't know how nuts.
We don't know how nuts, and we will find out quickly. But events. I mean, there aren't a ton of events that happen between, so I feel like we can jump to like the next day, right? So
we can jump to tomorrow noon-ish.
Yeah. So like we kind of, the next scenes that we see are sort of in the morning, where Natalie Portman's character is fighting with her older sister over the TV. Like Natalie Portman's character wants to watch Transformers because she's dope as hell. Mm-hmm. And
she's all about that 1986.
Exactly. And
which do they ever say when this movie takes place?
I don't know.
Does it take place in the 90s or does it take place in the 80s?
If it's shot in the mid 90s, you could see the setting as like the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, you know what I mean? So basically, she's fighting over the TV with her older sister. We don't get a lot of scenes with her younger brother, but we come to find later on that she really does deeply care for her younger brother. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene right before the dirty DEA agents break into the house, because they come up on noon and this guy's not giving them an answer, i.e. like Natalie Portman's dad in the movie is not giving them an answer by noon, so they break back into his apartment. Before that, Natalie Portman gets a call from her house is called from her boarding school, and it's her like head mistress is like calling, and is basically like thinks that she's talking to Natalie Portman's mother, and it's actually Matilda who's talking on the line. Mm-hmm. And you find out that she's been kicked out of boarding school, like this really expensive boarding school that her parents have paid a year ahead on, a year's advance on the tuition. So and it's like she even says on the phone line, like, this is a school for troubled girls, and we pride ourselves in kind of straightening out people. So you even get a sense beyond like her actions inside the apartment, like she's a troubled young woman.
Yeah, she's like incredibly troubled.
From a troubled family, you know. And so that scene is quickly interrupted by, or quickly followed by...
well, Natalie Portman's character, we have to say this, gets out of the apartment.
Oh, that's right. So right before the DEA agents break in to the apartment,
she tells Leon she's going to become milk or something.
Yeah, she's outside and she's been tasked to go to the grocery store by her family to go pick up some things. And so she again encounters Leon, and she knows, we get a sense that she knows Leon because she's like, you like milk, right? Or like she knows the percentage that he even likes, like 2% or whole milk or whatever. And so she runs to the grocery store because she's excited to like go do this to make Leon proud, but also like, it's also a reason for her to be out of the apartment when these events happen. So she, by chance, survives because she's outside of the apartment at the time this attack happens. As soon as she leaves, her father and her mother's apartment is attacked by these DEA agents. They come up the stairs. They're like lining the hallway,
getting ready to like brace. And I will say, there's a great scene. I have no idea and I don't know if we're supposed to know what kind of drugs Gary Oldman's taking.
Right. Well, he takes this pill, right?
Gary Oldman has this fantastic. Every time he takes this pill, but like it's just like he has this little silver case. He rattles it, next to his ear, and then he'll open it. It's just a pill. Looks like, I don't know, like I take Adderall. It kind of almost looks like that.
Speed or something.
Maybe it's speed. Maybe it's something. I don't know what it is, but it's a capsule pill. Oh, he pops in his mouth and he just like throws it back and he cracks it. And when he does it, almost looks like he's cracking his neck, but he cracks the pill.
You almost feel like he's going to break his neck by the way he's like...
He like cracks it open, and he does this at least twice in the movie, and releases whatever's in the capsule, and immediately becomes super high.
Right.
And this is right before they break into the apartment.
Right. So he's got to get doped out to like do this thing that he's about to do. And I will say that, brace yourself if you're going to watch this movie, because this is one of the most brutal things I've ever.
Yeah, it's very brutal.
I mean, like, I don't think I've watched I was even watching it back today. I was like, wow. I was disturbed by it. I'm like, this is a hard.
It's hard to watch, for sure.
It's very hard to watch. The scene is extremely hard to watch when the DEA agents, led by Gary Oldman's character Stansfield, break into the apartment to confront this guy who's cut their drugs.
Because I mean, Matilda's character has very little love for her mother or her older sister. I don't know if they're actually blood related, but like you gotta think like her older sister's probably like 16. Or 17.
Yeah, young.
So just think like a 16-year-old is in this...
Nobody knows what's about to happen.
Yeah, a 16-year-old is in this apartment. A 4-year-old is in this apartment. A mom who's just trying to be I don't know, like...
She might staying home from work that day.
Yeah, who might be a bad mom, but like...
Yeah.
An innocent kind of like bystander in this whole thing.
So like Gary Oldman, they shoot the lock out with a shotgun. They kick the door open. The eldest daughter is the first one to see them enter the apartment and runs away and is not yet shot.
I think the other thing that adds like even more heart-wrenching layer is like to this is like she's the first, like they kick open the door. She is in the hallway immediately seeing the door fly open and this guy with the shotgun and she yells "Daddy."
Yeah.
Which makes us feel like she's like so much younger than she actually is. But
right.
I would imagine she's probably 16 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so there's a lot of disturbing things about this scene because it's like, okay, the dad is paralyzed by fear.
Yeah. You see him just like hanging out in some back room and like you clearly know he knows what's going on.
Yes.
But he doesn't paralyzed by fear.
He lets his entire family be killed, before he is willing to like try to save himself. And so, like, they shoot the lockout. They break into the apartment. The eldest daughter sees them come in, runs away, is not immediately shot. Mm-hmm. Gary Oldman walks past the bathroom door, backtracks, opens the door. The mother, who is not aware that anything's going on,
wearing like headphones. She's
listening to music. She's like singing.
She doesn't even hear. Like he had shot the lock open on the door too,
right,
to break into the apartment.
So she's like listening to this music, and then all of a sudden you just see him. Like there's this overhead shot of the bathroom where he breaks into the bathroom. Like he cranks the shotgun before he even opens the bathroom door. Opens the bathroom door, you see an overhead shot, and this woman's in a bathtub, and he just blows her away.
Yeah,
and
like you can see like the water starts draining out of the back of the tub because like it shot through the tub too.
Yeah, it's such a disturbing scene.
And later on, I think you even get like a still shot of that.
You get so like when everything's said and done, you get a. Eventually, he kills the daughter. The daughter's running down a long hallway.
The daughter's oh my god! You see that worse than the mom is like you see her running down a hallway. He boom gets a clean shot on her back, like she just falls flat dead.
Yeah.
On the ground. That was horrifying.
Right, and so like when everything's said and done, you do get these still shots of the mom, like the back of the tub that has this red rain in it, and like the water's draining out of it, and the daughter dead in the hallway. Horrific. Like one of the most. This is one of the movies that will sit with you and how disturbing that scene is.
That scene for sure.
This extermination of this family. Now it's so disturbing that I feel like they won't even show the 4-year-old. The one thing they don't show is the 4-year-old killed. I feel like that's too disturbing to show. But it's and so they eventually.
But although he kind of dies accidentally.
Yeah, I mean they're even mad about it.
They're mad about. They're like
these dirty cops are even mad that
you hear them say he killed this 4-year-old.
I'm like,
jerk.
You're not mad that he killed a teenage daughter?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
It's like that's kind of sick too. Like Stan killed the teenage daughter. Anyways,
yeah.
So they eventually get to the dad, who never fesses up to cutting the drugs.
The best is when, as horrible as Gary Oldman's character is, especially because he just executed this, he's pretty much single-handedly. The kid gets caught in some crossfire, the 4-year-old.
Yeah.
But like Stansfield single-handedly kills his mom and this teenage
horrible
teenage daughter. And honestly, if he would have come across the 4-year-old, who knows? He might have just killed him too.
Yeah, he was so doped out. You imagine that he might have just done that.
But anyways, oh man, I had a point here. I forgot what I was going to say. But you see, he has a great scene. Every great scene in this movie is Gary Oldman. He is Gary. You have to watch this movie just for Gary Oldman.
If you're a Gary Oldman fan, you should watch this movie.
This is one of the greatest movie villains ever.
Yes.
Anyways,
he is basically the Joker. Like
he's like the Joker.
If you did not watch, if you're aware of the Batman and the Joker, and you watch this movie, he is like that kind of villain. Yeah.
So yeah, he's so
nihilistic,
doped out. He sees this father in like. I feel like it's a very 90s thing, but like there's like one of the doorways is covered in this like
beads.
Draped beads.
Yeah.
And you just see him. He's like, and like he puts out a shotgun and he comes in. He's like through the beads, and he just comes up to the
talking
dad.
About music.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he comes up to the dad. He's like, "We said noon. I have a minute past."
Yeah,
and
very matter of fact, you know.
And then he points at him, like thinking about like before he goes into the apartment. He asks his cop buddy, "Is like, do you like Beethoven or something like that?" And this cop buddy's like, "Man, not really my thing," sort of something like that.
Yeah.
You kind of like get the sense that he holds on to that mentally, because by the time he gets to his dad, and so after he says a minute passed, he like kind of just is playing around, like, and then he looks at him and says, "You don't like Beethoven,
right?" Yeah.
You know what you're missing.
More
of a Mozart guy, huh?
He's like, Mozart's a little light for this kind of work.
Like, yeah.
You know, he's like, you should look into see Bach or something.
He's like, you should look into Bach, and then he's like, toss the apartment.
Yeah. Right. So he's just like, you know, he has a singular focus. Like he's doped out. He has no moral compass. Like whoever this man is lost that a long time ago. He's very much matter of fact. Like, let's find the drugs. This guy was a turncoat. So let's not just kill him, but his whole family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like whatever. Like this is what's happening in the moment. You wonder whether or not he would have left the father alive to suffer with the rest of his family's having been killed, but the father ends up like having a stowed away gun, and he pulls it and kills one of Stansfield's men, and then also shoots Stanfield in the shoulder. And Stanfield lives, obviously, but in doing that, makes an attempt to escape the apartment. He would not have got. Benny is outside waiting with a gun. Like he almost shoots Stansfield and who's Stanfield's right hand guy. He almost shoots them coming out of the apartment. This guy would not have gotten out alive. But he shoots these two, makes a run for it. Stansfield is like laying right next to his daughter's dead
Magnum,
right next to his daughter's dead body. He's crouched down right there and shoots this guy as he's running down the hallway.
Twice in the back.
And then,
this is another brutal. Like this whole
another brutal
scene is brutal.
It's so brutal.
It's actually the most brutal scene in the movie.
It's honestly one of the most upsetting things I think I've ever watched in the movie.
So he gets shot twice. The dad gets shot twice in the back. He's still alive, and he's trying to crawl out to the exit of the
hanging on for dear life. You know,
Stansfield gets up and realizes he got shot in the arm.
This is the level of Stansfield. He's like worried about how this guy ruined his suit.
He's shot in the arm. He's got a wound.
Yeah.
He's like, this guy fucking ruined my suit. And he like walks over to him as he's crawling and just like, boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Like he keeps
him,
like you just see like his body like convulse every time he's shot, and he keeps crawling. And Stanfield's just standing over him, shooting him.
Yeah. For retribution for his suit.
Yeah. Like very brutal end to this dude, who kind of deserved it, but because he let his whole family
it just
die.
sucks that like the most upsetting thing about it is like his innocent family like kind of gets brutalized and murdered,
and he's just like brutally killed. But
like that's part of the. I mean, honestly, it's part of the
weird part of like
film.
Levity. Like right after that, it's weird. Like because this is genuinely funny, but like right after that, he finishes off this dad. His cop buddy is like, are you crazy? What are you doing? He's dead. Yeah. Why do you keep shooting him? And he's like, he ruined my suit. He's like, I know, but he's dead.
Yeah.
And then you see him just like loading his gun back up because he like unloaded it on this guy's corpse.
Yeah. He almost as if like he might be like unloading another clip into him.
Yeah. He's like the cop buddy was like, he took him out of the apartment into the hallway. He's like, you just stay out here. I'm gonna like handle things in there. And
you can tell that the rest of the cops and the dirty cops in this situation,
everybody's afraid of this,
scared of him.
He is like a fucking loose cannon, but he runs the show. He runs the operation.
Yeah.
And
this right-hand guy has some of his ear, is able to talk to him to some degree.
Yeah. And so this guy, I guess he goes right back into the apartment, and this old lady who is in another apartment coming out like to hear what's going on. Obviously there's a noise and commotion because he's killing everyone with shotguns and like this giant magnum. And this old lady comes out and she's like, why don't you just leave that poor family alone? Why don't you just... She doesn't see the bodies in the apartment.
She doesn't know that they're all dead.
She's just standing in the hallway, and he just like loads his gun. There's like this glass panel that's sitting behind the old woman, and he just shoots the glass right behind her.
Yeah, he shoots it out.
And he said he's got like a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
Go back inside.
He said, go back inside.
Yeah. When he was directing Stansfield to go back, well, eventually he tells Stansfield.
Yeah, and then his cop buddy, after like he saw that he shot the glass, he's like, okay, let's go back in the apartment.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't trust you to be by yourself.
Like this guy's such a fucking.
He's like fucking high right now.
Yeah, like this is a cracked out, like
a dirty,
corrupt DEA cop agent who is like,
God. I mean, Gary Oldman is so good in this movie.
Yeah, it's got to be his best. Like
it might be his best work, and this is like one of his early.
Honestly, to me, it might be the best villain character outside of the Joker, outside of Joaquin Phoenix Joker. You know what I mean? Like it is.
Heath Ledger's Joker.
Both. Heath Ledger's Joker too. Like he is the epitome of that type of character. Pre DC Comics, pre DC Comics migrating to film, like he is that character. He's that nihilistic kind of like nothing applies, the rules don't matter, like I'm going to use my leverage in whatever way I can kind of character.
Yeah, you don't really get, I feel like, this kind of character in an indie cult classic like this.
I mean, this movie is so again,
good.
It's so like there are moments like we just discussed where the break-in of the apartment and killing of the family, it's disturbing.
It's disturbing, but it's like, damn.
It's like real.
Feels very real.
It's like, oh my God. Like that
and
is
Gary Oldman just
Gary Oldman,
The way he's like, he plays nonchalant and also like vicious at times.
yeah,
Like
he's amazing in
it's
this movie. It's one of his best. He says to this day, I watched an interview that he gave. To this day, he says when that fans approach him, the number one thing they say, outside of Harry Potter things, is "everyone," which is a famous line from the movie.
I feel like I don't know if she'll bring this up later. Like, but you just said it. But like, that was like
That was improv. Yeah.
Not only was it improv, he did it as a joke.
Yes, he did it as a joke. He says in the interview he did it as a joke.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
this
famous
is like
line.
a famous line.
Okay.
In the movie.
So let's jump past this scene because there's a lot of storytelling that happens between the action scenes that happen in the movie.
Well, I mean, I feel like we need to talk about like way Matilda ends up in the apartment. Like,
Matilda comes. So they finish their raid on this apartment, and Matilda's coming back from her grocery shopping, and she walks past the apartment and sees her half sister, dead in the hallway along with her father, and
very smartly
walks past it. Walks past
her apartment. Towards the hitman's apartment.
Yeah, she walks straight by, as if she's like delivering groceries to this hitman's apartment, or she's the daughter maybe. And she's knocking on it, saying, "Please let me in."
This is that's so great. I mean, the apartment did a great job.
Oh, Natalie Portman was a pro. In
this is definitely, maybe even one of her, like, even at like 11, 12, however old she was, one of her best performances. But like,
for sure,
might
be her best role ever.
She walks past her apartment. She has her back to these guys. Like, one of the guys kind of like eyeing her. Like,
yeah, because they know that they're missing somebody.
They're missing someone in the family.
Yeah,
and they know it's like a girl. And she's just like, you can just see like she's starting to like tear up. She's starting to cry, and she's like ringing Leon's doorbell. She's like, "Please open up."
Yeah. She's like
ringing
to herself. She's like
hyperventilating to herself, and she's like, "Please open up." And all of a sudden, like the door does open up eventually, and it's like the way it opens up is a great shot too, because it's almost like angelic. It's like the heaven. It's like St. Peter's gates were opening up because you just see the sunlight being across her face.
Right.
And it's like, she is saved at this moment.
Yes, that's a great point. Like the cinematography there, like the imagery of the door opening up upon her, saving her. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's absolutely a great point. Iconic scene, and she is essentially brought.
This film is fantastically shot. It's just great.
I mean, I'm not familiar with any of this director's other work, but oh my god, this is such a great movie. But she's saved. She essentially becomes the apprentice. She quickly learns what Leon does for a living, and he doesn't hide it from her. And she
just wants revenge for her 4-year-old brother. She really doesn't care about the rest of the family who died.
Yeah,
she wants revenge for her
4-year-old brother who died. She's interested in avenging, and so she quickly becomes the hitman's apprentice. And there's some great scenes in the movie where he's kind of training her to be a hitman.
I forgot to listen to the music for this movie. Who's the artist in this movie?
Bjork is one of the great. There's this great montage that happens in the movie where like it's the monotony of their lives happening where she's training.
What's the song?
Venus as a Boy.
Venus.
Do you know that who Bjork wrote that song about?
No.
She was in love with Keanu Reeves. Keanu.
Shh, I'm trying to listen to Keanu.
And that's funny because he became John Wick, which is this movie is very John Wick-esque.
Oh my god, you have to watch this movie just for that musical scene too.
Yeah, this is great montage cutscene that happens.
That's one of the best montages, like with that music paired with like the scenes, like oh my god, I fucking love that.
Yeah, Bjork's Venus as a Boy like is playing, and there's this montage that happens in the middle of the movie as she's learning and training under him, and there's a monotony of like cleaning the guns and like exercising, doing sit-ups, and like that actually
like typical montage sort of music thing. Like it's like so one, it feels like so out of place, but like so fits like the movie.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't expect that kind of music in an action movie. He's handsome. He's Venus has a boy. Great. That's a great music.
Great
Bjork. Shout out Bjork. Great song. That was a great montage that happens in that movie. But
does she have another song in the movie, or was that the only one?
I feel like there's another memorable.
I think there might be another Bjork song in the movie.
It's another memorable song, I think, in that, but I can't remember exactly.
I like meant to listen to the song just because like the music, like there's a ton of music in the movie, but like when it does play, it like hits. Mm-hmm. And I meant to listen to it until I forgot. But Bjork definitely stands out. Venus is a boy.
Yeah, that's a great part of the movie.
And I can't listen to that song without thinking about this movie.
Oh yeah, the only thing I associate that song with is this film. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, she essentially stows away in Leon's apartment. He saves her, and then she kind of spends the rest of the movie trying to learn as much as she can about. They call it cleaning. Mm-hmm. I want you to teach me how to clean. That's the sort of code word to be a hitman. Mm-hmm. He's a cleaner. She wants to learn how to be cleaner. So there are parts in the movie where we do see her train. We see him train her to be cleaner. Like he asks for this sniper rifle to be brought out of storage.
A training sniper rifle.
Yeah.
That we later find out about. Yeah.
And the Tony is like, I was a little bit worried before he knows about her, he's like, I'm a little worried that you asked me to bring this out, you know.
He's like, yeah, it's good to keep sharp.
Yeah, he's like, it's good to be training, you know. Like he spends a lot of time, even later on in the movie, where he gets back into being a hitman. Tony is like, I've been worried about you because you've missed a lot of good jobs. So you do get the sense that he spends a lot of time away from work to take care of her, Natalie Portman's character, and to train her, and he does give her some tips, and he's like, basically, like, this is interesting, again, to the realism of the movie, there's this interesting point he makes where he's like, where Tony's like, oh, that weapon that you asked out of storage is for beginners. And then he, like, the scene cuts away to him and Natalie Portman, and he's like, okay, we're going to start with this, and then we're going to work our way up to short arms. And then the more trained you become, the last weapon you'll learn to use is the knife. Because the more you're trained as a hitman, the closer you get to the target.
Yeah. The funny thing about the sniper scene is she's clearly shooting Bill Clinton.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's the 90s. Yeah.
She's clearly shooting a character who is very clearly a Bill Clinton character. He has like... Definitely a government official. Maybe he's the mayor of New York, but like he looks like Bill Clinton.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And we don't know who this person is that she shoots. And she doesn't even know when she's shooting. She thinks she's using live rounds. Or maybe she doesn't.
Well,
she says, like, will I ever get to use live rounds or something like that?
Well, afterwards she says that. Yeah. So I did rewatch this film back. And like, there are a lot of tense moments in the movie, and one of the tense moments of the movie is her getting behind the sniper rifle and the audience not knowing at the time whether or not she's using live rounds or not, because she's like choosing a target and he's like, oh, choose whoever, and at the moment you're like, oh my god, like he's giving her license to just kill somebody. Yeah. And then she shoots like a paintball, basically, and then after that scene, where this jogger who looks like Bill Clinton that she shoots, after that scene, she asks Leon, when can we use live rounds next?
Well, she shoots him, and he obviously gets hit in the chest with the paintball.
It's a red.
Like, the like
Secret Service
like guards around him and jumps on him to protect him. It's like. Very much.
He's like, I'm fine.
Yeah, it was definitely meant to be Bill Clinton. Like 100% without a doubt.
Yeah.
Definitely supposed to depict that. Him.
Which means that she's Antifa.
She's Antifa?
Natalie Portman's Antifa.
Well, did Bill go to Island? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll never know.
We'll never know. Yeah.
Release the list.
Release the list.
Right?
Speaking of which, Trump was definitely. I don't come off as like we're definitely the
we're the anti-manosphere.
Trump is fucking all over that.
Yeah, that guy's a piece of
fucking
shit.
pedophile.
Yeah, okay,
for sure.
Yeah,
probably.
Trump's a pedophile. Gross,
yeah, don't sue me.
Man.
Probably, most likely. Not.
He's ugly. Apparently, he has a small dick. That's what I've heard.
Knocked down like part of the White House, which who the fuck?
Well, he completely demolished the East Wing.
Yeah.
Now he's doing it to a ballroom, which nobody is licensed.
Yeah, I mean, anyway,
if you think about it, it's the people's house, and he's like completely demolishing it. Yeah, so he sucks. He's got from what I've heard.
So just because I'm making fun of Bill Clinton, which he definitely deserves to be made fun of, because I think
fuck that guy.
He's definitely tied to Epstein as well.
That guy's deep in it too.
Which is fine, because like I can say go fuck Bill Clinton, and these people on the right can't say go fuck Trump.
Yeah, because there's a cult. They're a part of a cult. Yeah, and their cult leader has a really small dick, I heard. So, anyways, so they get past this training session, and it becomes it rolls back around to like more personal stuff, where like she eventually tracks down Stansfield, and she follows him back to his police precinct, and so she leaves a note for Leon, because he eventually gets back to work. He's got to get back to work. And while he's away at work, she tracks down Stansfield and his cohort and finds out what building they're in, what floors they're on, and leaves a note for Leon saying, "I'm going to go clean them."
This is where we get another great Gary Oldman scene.
Yes, where she goes into the building thinking that she's got the jump on them. And she follows Gary Oldman's character into the bathroom. And pretending she's a food delivery person.
How he gets the sense that he's being followed, I have no idea.
No, we never figured that out. But like, he has this uncanny ability to like, because he also later on,
he also feels very much like a Joker character, where he also feels like he always has like the one up.
Yes, he is always got the jump on somebody.
Yeah.
Where so Natalie Portman's character follows him into the bathroom. And she walks into the bathroom, and there's this great cinematography where there's this great shot of her in the bathroom, and the door closes, and he's behind the door. Essentially, he's like sitting behind the door.
You can see like the last stall in the bathroom. The door is closed, so it feels like she's
checking each stall.
She's like checking the stalls, and it feels like she's like making her way to this last stall where the door is closed. Well, kudos to him if he's able to get all the way to the end of the bathroom, close that door, and then get behind the door of the bathroom. But anyways, she makes her way to the end of the bathroom, the very end, and all of a sudden, like, he gently kind of like pushes the door open. He's just standing there,
right,
watching her. He just goes up to the sink, starts washing his hands, and he's like, he has this great kind of like monologue where he's like, essentially he's kind of like, let me guess, what's the delivery? Is it Chinese? And he brings out the little silver thing again, starts shaking around his ear. No, let me guess. Italian. And he picks up a pill, puts it in his mouth, and you can see the side of his profile. Like, Natalie Portman is viewing his side profile because he's standing at the sink looking at himself in the mirror, and all of a sudden his head turns again, like he's cracking his neck
as he cracks the pill. Almost like cracking his neck at the same time.
And you just hear him like this euphoria.
Every time you see him do that, you're like thinking he's gonna break his neck.
Yeah. Every time he like cracks it though, you also hear this euphoria where it's like, ugh. You're like, something's happening, and he's just like, okay, now he's getting.
It's like
high.
This monster, you know.
He's getting high again. Alone in this bathroom with this freaking 12-year-old, and eventually he's just like, okay, I need you, Matilda. Like, he has her name or something, and she does tell him. She's like,
what's your name, sweetie? Like he asked that,
and he's like, okay, Matilda, I need you to put down the bag and whatever you're holding, put down on the ground. And I think he even grabs his gun at this moment. He has his gun in his hand. Maybe. Right. Oh, no, he definitely does. He has his gun in his hand. And he has this little diatribe where he's like, who do you work for kind of thing? And she's like, I work like alone. He's like, and why would you want to kill me? It's like, she's like, because you killed my brother. And he's like,
what piece of shit did I do? Like, he even says, like, what low down piece of shit did I do? Like, shitty thing did I do? And she's like, you killed my brother. And he's like, and he looks at her, he grabs her face, he's like, and you want to join him? And he asks her, he's like, do you love life? Like, he was like,
care about life?
Do you love life,
do you care about your life?
And she's like, yes. And he's like, good, because I do not enjoy taking life from those who do not care about it. Exactly. Basically saying, like, I'm glad that you said that you care about your life, because it will make me happier to take your life away. Yeah. The fact that you like it.
All of a sudden, while this is happening, all of a sudden, like, one of his cop buddies who was in the apartment break-in comes in, which, like, it always threw me that this guy is a cop, because he's like, he wears tie-dye t-shirts. He has this reggae hairdo. He's this white guy. It's like, no fucking way.
When he says Bumba Clock.
It's like, no fucking way. And the gun he carried when he came into the apartment, too, was like, oh, definitely not police issue. But anyways.
Right. This guy's a cop.
It's like, how the fuck does the New York Police Department hire this guy? How is he a cop?
Right.
Anyways, but he is like this weird, like, white reggae.
The most I could see him being like is like an informant.
He comes in while Gary Oldman's character is having this little diatribe with Natalie Portman's character, and interrupts it, and is like, like, basically telling him, like, how that his right hand man just got killed. So his right hand man was having this, like, meeting with the Chinese to make this, like, Chinese gang or something.
And this hitman who seems to be the Italian type.
The Italian variety.
Breaks into this meeting, kills some of the Chinese attendees, and also kills Gary Oldman's right guy.
He killed the Chinese, and then he killed whatever the right hand man's guy is. And he said something like, no women, no kids. No women, no children. And then boom. Yeah, so obviously we know it's Leon.
Yeah, so he hears that, Gary Oldman hears that, and then also looks at Natalie Portman at the same moment. And, like, understands immediately that these two are tied somehow. And so he tells this guy who is this weird cop that shouldn't be a cop, who is like this reggae.
He's also like, he has his gun out, so he's kind of pointing the gun at him. Yeah. He's like lazily pointing at him. He's like, can you take
He's got this loaded gun, and he's like pointing at Natalie Portman, and then he like slowly like turns and talking to this guy.
You can tell the guy's like, I could take her up.
Yeah, Stanley, chill out. Like, so basically, Gary Oldman's character leaves to assess the situation that has happened with his right-hand man. Mm-hmm. And as that's going on, Leon enters the scene into the precinct in which Natalie Portman's character is being held.
He has this weird Neo moment too, where like,
it's very reminiscent of Matrix,
where like you obviously have the like little thing where you have to walk through for metal detector thing, and there's a security guard there. Leon just walks right through it. It beeps. And he just punches the security guard.
Oh yeah.
Knocks him out, and he goes straight up to like whatever floor they're at. And,
and he kills both of Stanfield's guys who are holding Natalie Portman's character, brings her back to the apartment, and that sets up the scene for the finale, which is the ending.
This is one of the greatest ending scenes I think in the movie.
Yes, this is the greatest. Now I did start this episode, and we started this episode saying. There's a great action scene in the beginning, and there's a lot of this movie that's storytelling and not a lot of action. Mm-hmm. Well, it makes up for that in the end with the action scene that happens at the end, which is at the apartment complex.
The end almost is very reminiscent of the beginning, because isn't she out grabbing stuff?
She leaves to go grab groceries. Leon has saved her. In fact, there's this touching moment where Leon spends the night in bed with, like, okay, not sexually, but he spends the night in bed with her. He falls asleep in a bed, which is a big deal for Leon because if you watch him throughout the movie, he sleeps in a chair sitting up.
He's sleeps sitting up.
And so, like,
with a gun next to him, he's always ready to go. And
so there's this thing that happens before the last conflict where they wake up in the morning and he's like, did I sleep in the bed? And she's like, oh yeah, you were snoring like a baby. And it was the first time he had slept soundly in a bed because he was comfortable with someone, i.e. Natalie Portman's character. And so Natalie Portman's character leaves to go get stuff for breakfast. And Jean Paul's character, what's his name? The
Jean Paul Van Damme.
Yeah, right.
Jean Reno,
his character, is left in the apartment to just relax. And meanwhile, all of New York City's special police forces are converging on this apartment. And
not all yet because we get that famous line.
Well, a lot of
we get the SWAT team comes in.
The special forces, SWAT team, whatever, comes converging on this apartment complex, and Natalie Portman's character comes back from having grocery shopped, comes back up to the floor, is walking towards the apartment, and is pulled aside, yanked aside.
This guy in a ski mask.
Yeah. And it's a bunch of guys in ski masks. They kind of look like contemporary ice.
Very ice-like.
Yeah.
And they're wearing full body armor.
Yeah, they're basically and there was this interesting scene that happened before this where Leon was reinstilling in Natalie Portman's character, hey, remember the knocking. There's a certain code to get into the door, right? It's 2 knocks, 1 knock, 2 knocks. And when Natalie Portman comes back up from grocery shopping, they ask her, hey, are you with him? Da, 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 da.
Is he alone in the apartment?
And then one of the last questions they ask her is there a secret code that he knows that you are entering by? And she gives them the wrong code. She goes 3 knocks.
You can see
knocks,
it's a great scene because they hold her mouth. They're she's just staring at him dead in the face, and he's just asking questions is he alone? She's like, yes. There's some other questions, but the last question he asks, he's like, is there a code to get in the door? And she just stares for a little bit. And all of a sudden she's just you can see she's thinking. Maybe she's just and then she just reaches her hand slowly out. She's just
yeah. So she basically thinks, I think, in the moment she thinks about it, should I lie to them or should I tell them the truth, but also lie? Mm-hmm. Where she's okay, let me say that. It's almost,
she gives them the wrong code.
It's almost a better lie, right? Because she's okay, I'm going to tell them there's a code, but give them the wrong code,
right?
Rather than saying that there is no code, which they wouldn't believe, right? And so she gives them the wrong code, and the SWAT team, upon entering the apartment, the first few, the first 6 or 7 that enter the apartment, they enter, and then all of a sudden you see a hand come down from the ceiling, close the door, and they're all blasted away.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
they're all blasted away, and the door just kind of
creaks open, and they're all dead.
The SWAT guy, the Marine SWAT guys, look in, and they're they see that all their buddies are dead, and
they realize, this is some real shit that they're in.
Yeah.
And so, I'm trying to think after that, there's another group that enters.
So Stansfield is where the famous line comes in. Probably Gary Oldman's most famous cinematic line ever. Okay, so he learns that the initial 6 or 5 or however many are in this team that go in are automatically dead. They radio him,
right?
he says to a guy who's near him, he's like, after learning that they're all dead, he's like, bring me everyone. And the guy behind him goes like, everyone? And then he just turns around and goes, everyone.
Yeah, it's the famous.
And this was
everyone.
This from Gary Oldman was a joke delivery that he provided. Like this was a joke take.
There were like a multiple takes of this scene.
I can't remember why he said it was a joke, but like when he saw the movie in theaters, like he was shocked that they
used that take.
But it's like one of the most famous.
But it's so true to that character.
Yeah. It's so true that because he could be so calm at points and just like fly off the handle on other points.
Oh yeah, he was so like this guy was scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like at one moment he could be calm and cool and collected and be talking to you, and then fly off the handle. You know, like you could not anticipate this guy's reactions.
Right.
And so the after that initial wave, he pops down from the ceiling and shoots the guys within the hallway.
Well, wait. Does he do that? What happens for? I guess he does do that. Yeah, he does do that.
The first wave of people enter the apartment, and he kills.
First wave enters the apartment,
and then he flops down from the ceiling and shoots like a bunch of them in the hallway.
Yeah.
Eventually,
at the time, he also gets shot in the shoulder.
Yes. And then
then they hide behind the wall again.
And he comes down
trying to figure out
points his.
There's a great scene in the movie where like they're like obviously training their guns on him, and then like after he kills everyone in the hallway, like they go back to cover, and as soon as the guy next to the wall pops back out to see what's going on, a gun is straight on his forehead.
Yes,
Leon's character has just basically walked down the hallway and waited for this guy to pop out and then put his gun right to his head.
Yeah.
And the guys on the other side of the wall are like, what's going on? And he's like, he's standing right here. He has a gun to my forehead.
Right.
He's like, give me the girl.
And that's the moment where he asks for Natalie Portman's character back.
Yeah. And he gets Natalie back.
Yeah. And so then he like creates an exit scenario for her. Mm-hmm. She escapes. He dresses himself up as a SWAT team member. Mm-hmm. Like he puts himself into that gear.
Well, he like somehow he cuts a hole out of the wall essentially where he knows ventilation is, and only she can fit down there. And so like he has like this little goodbye scene to Natalie Portman's character where he's like,
mm-hmm.
No, you got to go. He kind of pushes her down the cement thing. And while this is happening, they're setting up basically this bomb to shoot into the apartment.
Yeah, like
which they shoot into the apartment. They explode the apartment up. And in the chaos, when they come through, like he has changed himself into this like SWAT team outfit.
Yes,
with the face covering.
And so the medics pull him out of the apartment and bring him down to the lower levels. While they are still while other forces are still infiltrating the apartment and are checking on him medically, he would like to keep the mask on because he says, I breathe better with it. Mm. And he's really just trying to hide his face. But there is a moment in between where Stansfield walks in.
Stansfield has this like weird intuition. He always has to jump on people.
Yeah, Stansfield, like the professional, has this weird intuition where
he sees Leon's
character. He finds out
downstairs.
that Leon's character, he sees the moment in which Leon's character is being interviewed by the medic, mm-hmm. and recovers his face and says, "Oh, that's the guy I'm after," mm-hmm. and also interprets the path in which he's going to take to exit. Because he clears this tunnel of cops. He finds this underground tunnel and he clears the tunnel of cops. He says, "Go on, move, out." And it's right before Jean Reno's character walks through that tunnel. And this is like one of the ending scenes of the film where Jean Reno gets the mask back on, thinks he has tricked all of the cops, gets up, starts walking down the stairs of the apartment complex.
There's a beautiful little melody playing too.
Yeah, there's this great musical playing in the
like
background.
A little piano melody playing.
And he's walking through this underground tunnel thinking that he has now escaped and he's going to meet Matilda.
Yeah. It's like tunnel and this light at the end. And
he's going to meet Matilda
this is
at
also
this
like
Tony's place.
Great little like cinematic scene in the movie too.
Yeah. and there's even this beautiful, sort of tragic, beautiful scene where like you see the bullet shot.
Well, you see him walking, all of a sudden you see Stanfield like turn a corner and start walking behind him.
Start walking where like
this dead-eyed look on his face.
The focus is not on the focus goes on Stanfield's face to then the gun, where it transfers from his face to the gun. The shot happens and
you just like see like you see Leon's perspective when the shot happens. There's this flash.
Yes, and then he
obviously the gunfire, and it's like the beautiful piano melody plays. It's like do 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 as he's falling.
Yeah. And so you realize, I mean, when you as the audience saw Stansfield behind him, you knew he wasn't gonna make it out. And so Stansfield, Gary Oldman's character, shoots Leon, and
in the back,
back of the head. And he's laying on the ground dying. And as he's dying, he's speaking his last words to Gary Oldman's character. And he says that he has something for him from...
he turns around and he's like, Stansfield.
Right.
And Gary Oldman's just standing over him. He's like, at your service.
And Gary Oldman's character thinks he's beating him, right? Like he's beating everybody. And he says he has something for him from Matilda, and he puts his hand out.
His hand claps, and he like puts it in his hand.
Right, he's dying as he puts it in his hand, and as Jean Reno's character dies, the professional dies. Gary Oldman opens his hand to see a pulled pin from a grenade. And then rips the chest of Reno's character and sees that it's full of grenades.
Full of grenades, yeah.
And says, oh shit.
Boom! And then we had this huge explosion. I think Gary even talked about like this explosion in the, like filming this. They might have filmed it in Paris, actually. But, or maybe New York or whatever. But just like, boom, where like this fire bolt just like flies out of this tunnel.
Yeah.
A beautiful like little movie explosion, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then the movie really ends with Natalie Portman's character going to that boarding school that she'd been kicked out of, and returning to it, having to explain to the headmistress what really happened, and saying, "Will you take me back?" Knowing that, like, hey, if I leave here, I could die.
I might die, yeah.
And actually, my parents were killed by drug dealers, and
and dirty cops, yeah.
Yeah, and dirty cops, and if you push me out, I could die.
And there's this plant that Leon has been taking care of in the entire movie. I feel like he has a name for it. It escapes me. But she is holding onto this plant. Actually, when he pushes her down this ventilation system,
he gives her the plant.
He gives her a plant too, and she takes this plant and buries it in, digs and plants it into the yard of the school.
Yeah, the school that she's attending,
and she's just basically I think we'll be okay here, Leon.
Symbolism of this plant setting roots there, of her setting roots there, basically, like the symbolism of her, like, basically accepting like her place there as this, like the plant doing that as her acceptance of her place there, essentially.
Venus has a voice.
Well,
God, I have to listen to this. I'm gonna listen to that song after we get done with this.
Yeah, check out Bjork. Venus is a Boy.
that first watch this movie and then listen to that song because you'll never be able to disconnect the two.
Watch the movie and understand, like, listen to the song as you're watching the movie. You know, because like this, I would almost like make you listen, like watch this movie before listening to that song because you'll never be able to like disassociate the two from one you'll
another.
always understand that song as a
where like you ever like get the feeling where like anytime you like. There's some movies that are great. Like I feel like it's very Quentin Tarantino like esque, where like he makes a fantastic like, he's great in incorporating music into his movies, and there's sometimes there's just music like for like Reservoir Dogs. I can't listen to like Green Bag or whatever the song is like. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm thinking of like Stuck in the Middle with You.
That too, but I'm not.
I can't think of that music until
there are times where I'm not able to listen to like I can't listen to that song or Stuck in the Middle with You without thinking of Reservoir Dogs. But like there are like movies like that where it's like I can't like listen to the song without thinking of that movie, and this is definitely one of them.
Yeah, totally. Bjork, Venus is a Boy, like that totally encapsulates this film. Like I cannot think of that song without thinking about this film and the scene and the cutscenes montage that happens during the movie with that music behind it. I mean, this film is a one of one. I mean, like there, like I said earlier on in us filming this episode, like. Usually with a movie, you will be like, oh, if you like this, then you'll like that. You know, it's like if you like Ghostbusters, you might like Shaun of the Dead because it's a scary movie / comedy, or not even a scary movie, but it's a ghost themed movie or zombie themed movie with a comedy element to it. So it's like, okay, if you like this, you might like that. Whereas like with Professional, I cannot attach this movie to another piece of film because it's one of one. It's just like I can't. Same with Usual Suspects. It's like that's another movie where it's like we
debated doing that or this movie. Yeah, we might eventually do Usual Suspects. It's just kind of like
we
tainted
feel bad
by
with the whole
Kevin
Spacey.
Although to be honest, it's just like such a great. We'll probably talk about it eventually. Yeah, just because like it shouldn't be tainted just because Kevin Spacey's in it. Like.
Just because Kevin Spacey sucks and like
he sucks,
he's an awful person. He's a horrible.
Still a great fucking movie.
We can totally say he's a horrible human person and talk about that movie.
Yeah, because it's fucking great.
But, yeah, it's a great movie. But like, same with Seven. Like that's a great movie. He's a horrible human being. But like The Professional is a one of one. Like there's no movie that's really like that.
It's funny you say this because like in researching this movie. Or like trying to recollect it. I saw like an interview with like Natalie Portman, and I feel like she must have been like doing like an interview for another movie because like I feel like it might have been a Thor movie because the co-star like looked familiar, but they were asking about I think Leon the Professional and if there would ever be a sequel, and the co-star was like joking like. You just bringing that up in this interview is like that's gonna generate noise and it's gonna happen, and it's almost like I almost feel like please don't. As a huge fan of this movie, I was like, this is one of those movies where I'm like, please don't. Like this is very much like
when I was looking on YouTube for retrospectives of The Professional, there were fan art movies of like Professional 2 of like as if they were gonna do another one.
This is very much like a one-on-one.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I might be wrong because I did feel the same way about Blade Runner, where I really did love 2049. But I mean, it you'd have to knock the ball out of the park. I'm
gonna speak to this from like a fan's perspective of like a thing that we just covered, Cowboy Bebop. Like there is nothing that would make that series better. And like for the love of God,
well, when the Netflix show like plummeted, I mean that they face planted.
For the love of God, like do not try to expand upon that universe because it's perfect. Cowboy Bebop was perfect. Leon the Professional, like that was a one of one movie. Like there's nothing like this is the thing about the 90s is I feel like in the 90s with music and film, you were allowed to experiment a little bit more than you are nowadays. And you would just...
I mean, that movie is definitely brutal at parts, but like worked for the film.
Yeah, but I feel like you would not see a film like that nowadays. I feel like you could not get a film like that approved nowadays. I don't know. I just there's a little bit of bias here with like, you know, growing up in the 90s, growing up with grunge music, growing up with
yeah, I feel like that way too with like anime too, like 90s anime.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not like a huge. I don't want to say like I'm not an anime fan. I've tried to watch like shows like shit. What's it? I'm blanking on the name now. Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I've watched that and at points I've liked it, but like there's also like, God, there's something about like the artistic style. We'll have to do Samurai X at some point. But there's something about the artistic style of like a Cowboy Bebop and a Samurai X and a Ghost in Shell and the Gundam we talk about often.
MS-8 Gundam.
MS-8 Gundam. Like,
we are going to do MS-8 Gundam.
Something that just can't be recreated by computers.
No, there's like a realism to those animes where it's like there's like grittiness that cannot be recaptured.
Yeah,
like a realistic grittiness, like seriousness to those that cannot be recaptured by those.
Right.
But okay. Well, this has been Split Personalities. We love you all. Thank you for following us thus far. If you're a real one, donate to us by Patreon. If you can't do that, we would love to see you give us some one-time donations via PayPal. Both of those are set up for you. They'll be, if you're watching this from YouTube, they'll be in the description. If you're watching this from Instagram, they'll be in the link to our bio.
And honestly, like they're a cool event, like Cleveland events going on. Like, let us know. Like, you know.
Hey, look, we're the Cleveland Twins. We're ready to come make your event popular.
Right.
So invite us. We'll come do your event. If you want to have us there, please invite us. We loved our time at Cleveland's Oktoberfest.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun actually interviewing people.
Oh yeah, a ton. We were gonna go to Christmas the Great Lakes Christmas Sale event,
but didn't work out.
It just didn't work out with our jobs.
Yeah,
and we're looking for events to do in the Cleveland area. So if you're a event holder and you are looking to have somebody there to make your events a little bit more special, have us. We'll be there. If not, if you're just a purveyor of our content, then support us on Patreon and on PayPal. And we will see you next time.
Yeah, for sure.